Good morning and Happy New Year. I can't even begin to tell you. I want to be excited about this video. I've had the worst time making this video. You have no idea. I've recorded it at least, I don't know, 1,000 times at least. And I finally got it where I wanted it, edited it, lost part of it to the cloud. So I had to redo it. And then I finally got it again, and guess what? It was recorded sideways, and I don't know. I'm not a good editor. I couldn't get it to flip, so I've got to redo it. I want to cry. I'm getting to the point where I don't even know if you guys want to see what I got. But anyway, I got some stuff. I turned 50 in November, at the end of November, and I got some gift cards for AC Moore and Amazon, and bought myself some stuff. And then I also bought myself some stuff on Dick Blick. And then I also got some stuff for Christmas, which is not here yet, which will have to be a separate video. So I'm going to fly through this as quickly as possible because I've just gone, I'm so frustrated right now. But hey, persevere, right? So, all right, I'm going to start with Michael's. Very simple. I bought myself the new Jane Davenport watercolor palette. I have her other two. I have not yet opened to swatch these because I thought about doing a video and I can't make up my mind, so I have not opened these yet. I bought that, and then I also bought her aqua pastels. My girlfriend Crystal over at Art It Out did a review and first impressions. I will link her video down below if you're interested in checking it out. I thought, you know what, I love Jane Davenport stuff, but I didn't know if I wanted to buy these because I already have the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s. I got about 60 of the colors, and I also have a set of 24 of the Staedtler watercolor crayons. So, and I've just like, why do I need more? But I bought them because I got a gift card and I didn't pay anything for them. But I'm glad I did because the colors are really pretty. They're named after famous artists, Toulouse-Lautrec, Da Vinci, Van Gogh, Botticelli, Michelangelo, Ingres, Dali, Frida, Cezanne, Gauguin, Monet, and Laurenson. I've never heard of this artist. I'll have to check them out. But it goes well with her color palettes, and it's fun to have, and it fits in my bag, and it's cute. So I bought that. And then I bought some of Jane's water brushes. Oh, and I did buy 2 bottles of her ink, which is out in the other room. And before all said and done, I'll have them all. I got the mermaid tail and tinsel. I love working with inks, so I'll have them all. And then the next haul I got was Michael's. We'll go through this pretty quickly. Another watercolor palette. This is another one I have not yet opened because I have not decided if I wanted to do a video. I need a watercolor palette like I need a hole in the head, because I do have all 3 of Jane's watercolor palettes, but I also have, this is my Daniel Smith palette, and as you can see, quite a few colors. I think there's like 2 or 3 colors that are still Winsor and Newton Cotman, and I think I got 3 left, and I've been replacing those. I just recently replaced my Winsor Newton Cotman sap green with a Daniel Smith sap green that I got at with a Dick Blick haul. So that was Michael's. And AC, I'll go through. All right, I got my Dick Blick stuff because it's right here. I bought some Marabou watercolor crayons. Like I need more. I bought these. I got a couple in an Art Snacks box, and I hadn't really played with them. And I took them out and I played with them the other day. And these things are so nice to play with. They go on creamy and smooth. They like similar to the Distress crayons by Tim Holtz, but they're way creamier, and they go on so nicely. Maybe I'll swatch these out in a video just so you can see what they look like. I think I have all but 4 of those colors. Also from Dick Blick, I bought liquid metals. These were on clearance. I got them for a couple bucks. I bought all 4 of them, but they were out of the gold, so that's on back order, and when it comes in, they'll send it. But I got the copper, the pearl white, and the silver because I want to try doing some brush lettering this year, and I thought that would be fun for those. And also from Dick Blick, on clearance for $3.87. And I'll link these below. These are being discontinued. Now, this is the female. They're sending me a new one because her arm, like when I took it out of the box, just popped right up like, ah. And she doesn't sit very flat. And if you can see, she's got a crack in her butt. So they're going to send me a new one of the female. And then I also got the male. I'm not going to take him out of the box because it pretty much looks the same, but it sits nice and flat. I did buy my little tube of sap green. And I also bought myself 2 new paintbrushes. I bought a Princeton Elite 4850R number 8 round. I like the Princeton. I have a Velvet Touch, a couple of the Velvet Touch series, and I really, really like them. So I thought I'd give the Elite a try. This was a little more expensive than the Velvet Touch ones. And then this is a Utrecht number 10 6150R. I'll link them. I will also link all these down below. This I believe they said was a new product, so I wanted to give that a try. And that was the extent. There may have been 1 or 2 more things, but because I've done this video so many times, everything's spread out, nothing's together anymore. So that was my Dick Blick haul. My Amazon haul, I bought some Fluid 100. This is by the Handbook Paper Company. It's a Fluid 100 cold pressed finished paper. It's 100% cotton. This is 11 by 14. This is 300 pound, 640 GSM paper. 8 sheets. It is not a block. I've seen several artists I follow who use this paper and they like it, so I thought I'd give it a try. I also bought myself some books. One of the things, one of my goals for 2018 is to to get outside more. I've had my spine fused, and so I have a difficult time walking for long periods of time, or standing for long periods of time, but I really want to get out and exercise more, so take my dog for a walk. And I thought, well, I'm doing that. I want to learn. I want to urban sketch. Now, I don't know how to I know how, but I don't know how, if that makes sense. You know, being able to sketch out stuff really quickly. I admire people who do that. So I did buy some things to help me with that goal. I bought myself a Lita Art Supply journal. This is 7 by 10. I think it's like 120 or 140 pages. It's 120 GSM. It takes pencil, graphite, charcoal, ink, and a light wash of color. So I thought this would be perfect. It's very similar to the Moleskine. The pages are very, very smooth. They're kind of a cream color. It has the pocket in the back like the Moleskine. It has this, and it feels really nice in the hand. You know, I read a lot of reviews on a lot of different books, you know, and like every review, you got a handful of people who really don't like the product, but there were more people who liked it than didn't, so I thought I'd give it a try. So to go with the urban sketching, I bought myself Sketching People, an Urban Sketcher's Manual to Drawing and Figure and Faces by Lynn Chapman, and an Artist Journal Workshop, Creating Your Life in Words and Pictures by Kathy Johnson. Now, this book, they come with some tips and some prompts and lots of visual inspiration, but this is by no means a beginner's manual. Only because I have some knowledge of art supplies, some knowledge of, you know, some knowledge of drawing. I have a few art skills. I've been doing mixed media for about 6 years now. It's a little easier, but if I was right out of the gate, didn't know a thing, as much as I would be, I mean, look at the visual imagery in this book. It's just absolutely stunning. It does talk about supplies, you know, and it gives tips from various artists. You know, it has a few things in here, but this is by no means is a beginner book, but it is still nice to have in your arsenal. And the same with this book. I love looking at visual journals on Pinterest and like going through Google and Instagram. It's a huge community, and I want to be a part of it. I just think that being able to do this would be really, really awesome. But one of the things about visual, like urban sketching, is they like, some do draw in pencil, but a lot of times they draw in pen because they're drawing so quickly. I did buy some books on learning to draw with pen and ink. Now this is Alphonso Dunn. He is here on YouTube. I will link him down below. He's extremely talented. He's got some great tutorials, explains things really, really well. And, this book goes into great depth about how to use your pen with different marks to create shape, dimension, depth, to bring a flat shape, give it, make it look 2D, 3D, how to hold your pen, different types of pens, that kind of thing. Very simple, it's no frills, but I'm very excited to try that. And then I bought How to Draw with a Ballpoint Pen. This is a bit different than his. These are more like doodles, but it does have you, give you shapes and tells you how to shade and talks a little bit about perspective. I mean, it doesn't go into great depth about perspective, but it does give you some good information about that. So, and then lastly, Figure It Out. It's a Beginner's Guide to Drawing People by Chris Hart. This talks about how to draw both the male and the female, which most books I buy, like on faces or whatever, it's very geared towards female faces for some reason. And these look a little cartoony, but I don't care because it's about being able to get the shapes, and it does break it down into shapes. And as I get comfortable with that, then I can get more detailed, but I got a long way to go. So if it starts out cartoony, it's cartoony. That's fine by me. Oh, sorry. And lastly, on Amazon, I don't know if it's lastly, but I did buy a heat sealing iron because I want to work. I've been working a little bit with encaustic finishes, like on canvases. So I bought this to help out, because what I do have is one of those Ranger melting pots, and you have to melt the beeswax. It melts the beeswax, but painting it on was a little difficult. And so I thought this would be great for doing, say, index cards, or for swaps or ATCs, small canvases, wood cradled canvases. So I thought I'd give this a try to see how this works. I looked at encaustic setups, and encaustic setups are extremely, extremely expensive. Get this stuff out of the way here. Oh, wait. And then the last book I got, now I didn't buy this. I ordered this back in, what was it? August, when it pre-order. This is Create Your Life Book by Tamara Laporte. She runs a class called LifeBook. If you're not familiar with it, I will also link that down below. If you've ever been on the fence about taking a class online but aren't sure which class to take, this is the class I recommend to start with. It's a year-long course. Tam invites about 25 artists worldwide who have different techniques. They use different mediums, and they do lessons for you, and you can learn a ton. And even if you are a more experienced artist, it's still a lot of fun, because it exposes you to artists or techniques that you wouldn't necessarily think to use in your art. The class is about $119 a year. And if that's out of your price range, if you contact Tam, she even sets up payment plans. But now this book has a lot of step-by-step pictures, very colorful. I've done most of these lessons with her through her classes. I take several of her classes. I've been doing her LifeBook since its inception. But one thing about Tam, Tam is all about female empowerment. Letting go, manifesting, celebrating, self-love, grounding, being present, honoring and healing, transformation, strength, and gratitude. And she builds lessons around these things. So it's all about self-love and healing, and it's just an absolutely amazing class. You can learn a lot about yourself through her class. But even though I've done most of these lessons, I wanted this in my library because Tam has been, she was one of the very first artists that was instrumental in my journey, and so I wanted to honor her by buying her book. The last thing I bought, why, I don't know, because I don't need them. Whiskey palette painters. They were 2 for like $8, but I thought what I could do with these, one is it'd be a small palette to go on the road, because as you can see, it's much smaller. So if I want to just go with a palette, a pen, a water brush, and a book, I could, even though these aren't that big, but I could customize the palette to my needs for the day. And how I would do that, I bought this. Now the tin, I'll have to find another use for, or I may just give it to my granddaughter, but I absolutely love Vincent van Gogh. But the reason I bought this, it was $13.99, I believe, is because it came, I've already taken some of the palettes out. It comes with 40 palettes. But if you look, they don't go anywhere. And they're nice plastic palettes, but they come with magnets on the bottom. And I looked at, you can buy magnets. I have some. I put basic gray magnets on them, but basic grays are very expensive to be doing that. And to find a magnet that makes it stick, or when you put the blue tack on the bottom, it makes it pop up. These sit pretty flush. It covers the whole bottom, and it was $13.99 for 40 pans, 40 half pans. So I thought that was worth the deal. It was a good deal. And the other thing I thought about doing with one of these when I reach 100 subscribers is putting together a watercolor palette and making a because I also make handmade journals, is doing a giveaway with a watercolor palette and a journal. And lastly, Amazon. I saw a water brush review by Denise Soden, which I will link down below. I picked these based on some of the brushes she was showing in her review. These are the Princeton Neptunes. These do not keep a point, but they're very, 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 very soft. And what I mean by soft is they have no snap. They just kind of bend, but they hold a lot of water and a lot of color. So that's nice. And I've been getting used to them. They take some getting used to. So I got the number 4 quill. I got a number 10 round. And I got a 1/2 inch cat's tongue. So I've been having fun playing with those, trying to, getting used to those. And that was Amazon. And I will link, one more thing from Amazon. Conte crayons, because like I said, I'm taking my art in a different direction this year. I'm going to continue to do my mixed media classes, but I want to start learning to do some of the old master stuff, and these colors seem to fit the bill. And I like working with pastels and chalks, and that was that. So I don't even know where I'm at anymore. I've done this so many times, I don't know where I'm at. So AC Moore, I think, is the last one. I had some 60% off coupons, so my son and I went through twice, but and then as a homeschool mom, I get an extra 15% on top of my coupons. But I got Cerulean Blue, Indigo, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, Green, Apatite, Genuine, which are already in my palette, but I got them all for a really great price. So, and then I bought some Aquarelle graphite pencils by Faber-Castell, an HB, a 4B, a 2B, a 6B, and an 8B. Came with a brush. I don't know where the brush went, but I got those so I can. And then a last AC Moore. Oh no, not the last AC Moore. This Premier Amethyst size 12 brush. I'm always on the market for a new brush. Always, always, always. I don't know why. I like collecting art supplies. And then lastly, since I've wanted one of these for a while, but these are so expensive. This one alone, this is an 11 by 14, 300 GSM or 140 pound, 12 by 16 Arches cold pressed watercolor paper. It is the block, as you can see, all the way around. most of you are familiar with blocks. This is $79.99. I don't have that in my budget just to spend on paper, but with a 60% off coupon, and then I had 25% off my total order, because it was another coupon including sale items. Even though this wasn't on sale, I ended up getting this for about 20 bucks. You can't go wrong with that, so I bought that. And let's see, Michaels. We did Michaels. We did AC Moore. We did Dick Blick. Did we do Dick Blick? I don't know. I think that's about it. I think I got everything. If I didn't, oh, and the other thing I did get at Amazon was some new fine liners. That's my graphics pen. I bought some new fine liners. They're water resistant. These are the Licton STA pens. They're pigment liners, and there's like 8 of them, 6 or 8 of them in the package. They say they're waterproof, so I want to see if they're waterproof, and I don't care if I lose them out in the field, versus my Micron or my Pitt pens, which are way more expensive. And then lastly, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I got myself some notebooks for, I'm going to bullet journal this year, I think. Give it a whirl. And I have this one, which will be January through June, July through December, and then this will be for this stuff, like, you know, because I want for lists I want to keep that I don't necessarily need in a daily planner. I will keep in this Lecterm's 1917. And that's, I think, about it. And I did buy some supplies to go with my bullet journaling. Oh, one more. So I got some gel pens and some highlighters and some sticky notes, and maybe I'll do some plan with me's, that kind of thing. And then also at Barnes & Noble, my granddaughter picked this out. It's called Just Between Us, Grandmother and Granddaughter, No Stress, No Rules Journal. And in this journal, it's between her and I. There's a little story about the author who decided to make the journal. But there's one side for the grandmother, one side for the granddaughter. And then it does have some areas of free space writing, so I can keep it for a little while, answer some stuff. She keeps it for a little while, and when it's all said, done, and filled, she gets to keep it, and she'll have a memory of lifetimes for her and her Mimi. That's my oldest granddaughter, Kaya. She's going to be 8, but she's too smart for her own good. But I think that might be about it, and if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I've done this so many times, and everything's so spread out. I just... Hopefully this is it. But anyway, I hope I didn't bore you to death. If there's any questions, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I have an answer, I will give it to you. If not, I will help steer you in the right direction. Please hit like, subscribe. You know, my goal for 2018 is to try to make this channel the best channel I can, by getting up more content and getting some followers, and hosting giveaways, and all that fun stuff. So anyway, I hope you had a happy new year. Hopefully when I review this and I edit it, I shouldn't have to edit too much. Hopefully when I review it, I don't look at it and go, oh, screw this, let's just chuck it out, because I am not making this for the 1500th time. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great day and you had a happy new year. It's back to the work week. Everybody's back to work today. School's back in session tomorrow. And, yeah, and so I get my house nice and quiet, peaceful, back to myself. Anyway, happy new year. Have a good day. Bye.